Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of set building experimentation with the Witch Doctor in Season 10. What we have right now is a build that is actually viable at a greater rift level 40. So if you're not able to necessarily pull down that Arachyr set that we were working on yesterday, if you haven't gotten that yet, this one seems to be a little more common, and you may be able to build this first and then do some farming at the very least a tier 9 or a greater rift level 40, somewhere in there, either running the Nephilim or the greater rifts. So that's pretty viable. This is the Jade Harvesters set. So what we're looking at right now is a lot of basically casting dots on guys and then running around like a madman trying not to get hit in the face. So this one right here, this is going to be the gloves for the set. Nothing really too special about it, but the set itself is when Haunt lands on an enemy already affected by Haunt, it instantly deals 120 seconds worth of Haunt damage. That's actually a pretty decent amount. Next, Soul Harvest gains the effect of every rune and has its cooldown reduced by 1 second every time you cast Haunt or Locust Swarm. So we're going to be haunting and locust swarming like nobody's business because of this next benefit. Soul Harvest consumes your damage over time effects on enemies, instantly dealing 300 seconds worth of remaining damage. So if you have Locust Swarm and you have Haunt, it's going to immediately blow them up with whatever damage you have. I've seen this absolutely melting elite packs. So to complement that set right now, we're still running the Golden Gorget of Leoric because really I have nothing better. I don't know why, but if I could find the other piece of this Eternal Walk, or Endless Walk, sorry. If I could find the other piece of that, then I'd be in much better business with this build. But finding pieces of Sekir is difficult, and that's what this whole series is about. The next one I have is an ancient legendary ceremonial knife, the Sacred Harvester. This one is borderline essential to this build. It allows Soul Harvest to now stack up to 10 times, which with this having every single rune, the one I'm highlighting right now, increase your armor by 10% per harvested enemy and reduce their movement speed by 80%. If we can hit 10 guys with this, we're looking at 100% armor increase. Now, to make matters even worse for the bad guys, we've got Lakumba's Ornament, which is a very big piece of both top tier sets, so coming by this is a little tricky. I've just been giving Kadala all the blood I can find, and this is what I've come up with. Reduce all damage taken by 6% for each stack of Soul Harvest you have. So once again, if we can get that up to 10, now we're looking at reducing all damage by a flat 60%. That's going to be huge. Bakuli Jungle Wraps really isn't doing us any good for this build. It's actually for the other build, but it's the best belt I actually have. There is a better belt for this that will allow you to, it gives the benefit of the Haunt that I'm using right now. It's Haunt 2 enemies with spirits. The belt itself will give you that ability, so then you could take the one which reduces incoming damage. So if you can find that belt, it's worth having. I think it'll make a big difference in this build. The other one I'm using right now is Bulkatho's Wedding Band, and I'm running Bane of the Powerful. Bane of the Powerful right there, and I'm running the Enforcer over here so that my pets are doing more damage. Really not doing a whole lot for me. I could probably find some better things to put in there, but at the very least we're just running this to show that this is a capable set. I do have zombie dogs because just what it came with here, and I do have a gargantuan out there because I think something I had did something for the gargantuan, but it's not really important. Those two skills aren't really necessary. We could run this with just 4 buttons. All we need is our Locust Swarm, our Haunt, our Soul Harvest, and our Spirit Walk. So to go over the runes I have for those, using Cloud of Insects means that jumps, yes, but it also means enemies affected deal 25% reduced damage. That's going to increase our life. Haunt, we're doing the 2 spirits dealing 4,000 weapon damage as cold over 12 seconds, so it does a ton of damage with this one. And since we're going to be burning it for over 300 seconds worth of that, we're just absolutely nuking, guys. Soul Harvest, we're feeding on the life force. I went over how much of a benefit we're going to get out of that. And since we're going to be constantly summoning dots on people, we're not really going to have anything that increases our mana. So I'm doing the healing journey, which is actually just life on that one. So we're just trying to get out if we start running low on mana. Zombie Dogs, Leeching Beast, gonna try and keep me alive. Restless Giant, gonna try and keep me alive. And then down here, gonna do some damage. So we've got Creeping Death, your Haunt, Locust Swarm, and the damage amplification lasts almost forever, which is nice because we can just keep those Haunts and Locust Swarms moving around. Spirit Vessel, once again, almost essential on every build. Just if you get caught out, you're immediately brought back to life. Grave Injustice, this one's mean. Gain 1% of your maximum life and mana and reduce the cooldown of all of your skills by 1 second when an enemy dies within 20 yards. Considering this is only going to affect guys within 18 yards, we're almost always going to be within 20 yards of guys that are blowing up. So that's going to be huge. And then Confidence Ritual, once again, you deal 25% additional damage to enemies within 20 yards. We're going to be keeping our enemies very close with this build. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop into this Greater Rift level 40 here, and we're going to show you how it works. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward just like we always do and let you guys enjoy the build. Okay guys, so as you saw, we were able to absolutely tear through that T9 level 40 Greater Rift. So basically with that build, you saw how the rhythm is. When you first walk in, you're going to go ahead and throw the 2 Haunts out. You're going to go ahead and try and get that Locust Swarm so that it starts jumping. And then for your very first one, you're going to want to Spirit Walk in and then go ahead and hit that Soul Harvest on a large group of enemies. That's going to boost your survivability right through the roof. You're going to be looking at 100% extra armor, 60% damage reduction on top of that, and then at that point it's fair game. You have an extra 30% intelligence, so you're already doing a ton more damage. You're actually pushing 1,000,000 damage at that point, and you're just going to be able to blow guys up constantly. Every time an enemy dies, it reduces your cooldown. Every time you hit a Locust Swarm, it reduces your cooldown. Every time you hit a Haunt, it reduces your cooldown. So your Soul Harvest is up. constantly. You're able to constantly keep your health up, your survivability way up. It's just a great build. I've found that it's pretty easy to come across these pieces. The real hard parts are the pieces that you're going to need for everything. So that's going to be finding a vile hive, finding a sacred harvester, and finding this Lacumba's ornament. If you can get those 3 pieces right there, then you're going to be good to go for this build. But as always, guys, I really appreciate you stopping in. Make sure you like, subscribe to stay up with all of the latest builds that I'm going to be trying out, and just stay with us as we finally push through Arachyr's, and we're going to be going up to higher, probably looking at trying to get to a level 50 or so sometime this week. So thanks again, guys.